Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, creepy friends. Happy Christmas Eve. Oh my gosh, I knew it was going to be a quick December. I don't know why. I've just been going around for the last month saying it's just going to be such a quick month, and it's really felt like it. I can't believe it's Christmas Eve. Like already. Like, what's going on there? So a little Christmas Eve treat, and because I can't review today's TVAG episode until next week, obvious reasons, we're instead going to do the festive episode from the original vintage series of Thunderbirds, which is give or take 1 million. I have been talking about this for a couple of weeks now, so here it is. We're doing it. We're living the dream. We're doing it today. Go and get yourself a drink. Let's crack this baby open. Look, it's a can of Coke, okay? It's a small can of little classic Coke, because if you don't know or you haven't been here before, I don't drink alcohol. I do not like alcohol. I don't drink alcohol, so instead, we're going to rip this Coke open. Get yourself a drink. Have a beer, have a wine. Don't drink if you're underage. Or if not, cheers to everyone. There goes the camera. Cheers to everyone. And let's toast the season together. So give or take 1 million, its positioning in Thunderbirds episodic history has always been sort of a mystery to me. On my DVD set, which is behind me here, which is this one, which I think is the 40th anniversary series. Yeah, it is. It's 10 years old, my DVD set. How amazing is that? In accordance with my one, it's the very last episode ever actually done, prior to obviously the vintage ones that we had come out this year / last year. But then in other sort of episode guides that I've seen online, it's always mixed up or somewhere else. I do know it was definitely in the second half of the series, as opposed to being in the first half, because there's two features I always joke about. One of them is that Virgil's face and voice changed. There's a new voice actor in the second half of the original series, and also Scott gets his eyebrows done. Yeah, that's true. He has like a whole different head, and his eyebrows are much more thinned out. So look at that if you will, if you've never done it before, but that's how I identify what's a newer old series and older old series, if that makes any sense. So give or take 1 million opens on Tracy Island. We're overlooking the beach, but then we open on a snow set in the middle of the Pacific, I guess, right? Is it the Pacific? Who the hell knows? We're not supposed to know where the Thunderbirds are. We've got a cute little kid sat there called Nikki, who's sitting there with Jeff Tracy, who's dressed up as Father Christmas. 3 times it took me to get that line out. And we don't quite know why. Why is he there? Let's find out. So essentially a bunch of business tycoons and rich schmucks, I call them, have gotten together, and they've decided to give the kids of a local hospital called Corrival Hospital a treat by sending this rocket over to them, which is going to drop down a big canister full of presents. But one lucky kid is going to get to spend the day with International Rescue, because inside his present, which is number 185, is a ticket that says International Rescue request your company this Christmas. So there's one lucky kid. Obviously that's Nikki, but he doesn't know that right now. This is, I think, where you can tell that there's more pace in the newer series, if you want to call it that, because these episodes move a little bit slower. There's a lot more sort of, I'm going to say hanging around, not in a negative way, but in a way that if you knew it was 25 minutes, it would get done sooner. There's a little bit of sort of International Rescue being involved. Scott and Tintin go off in a plane to go Christmas shopping. We'll get on to men and Christmas shopping later on. Poor old Tintin looks knackered when she comes back. Grandma Tracy and Carano are doing the cooking. They're in on this. They're totally wanting to be part of it, which is great, because the only kids that have ever actually gone there are the 2 little Australian kids from Cry Wolf. So flashback to Harmon's, which is where one of the main guys is, and where basically he owns the Harmon's toy store, and to get himself loads and loads of exposure, he wants the rocket to take off from his building. So it has made him money this Christmas series, because he's, you know, clearly thinking of himself and not necessarily completely of the children. And there's 2 employees dressed in Santa outfits. It's the last day, it's Christmas Eve, and suddenly we have these 2 guys come out of nowhere with guns, threatening them, telling them, stay there. Uh-oh, what they're gonna do? Well, basically, there's a hint in it beforehand. They've just put money in the second safe at the second bank next door. So basically, these guys aren't there for any of the money from Harmon's. They're there to rob the bank of gold bars. I don't know why a bank has gold bars, but this bank's got gold bars. The thing with it is they have to go in through Harmon's, because the floor of this bank is rigged. So literally a pin, or even probably my hairpin right there, could hit it and it go, and everyone goes there and gets the robbers, or gets gets the perpetrators. There you go, that's the word, that's the one we use. Their reasoning for being there, obviously, is they've cut a hole in the wall, they pull that out, and then they flip a line from their place to the wall at the back of the vault, so they can just basically zip line, I think, is it Scobie zip lines himself across it and collects the gold bars. Bloody robbers. They've tied up the poor Santa Claus guys in the corner. They can't go anywhere. They're trying to rock themselves away, but they can't. They're stuck. Their poor families at Christmas. It's not Christmassy. You're robbing a bank, you evil men. Above Harmon's is a guy who's wrapping all the presents and getting everything ready. We're seeing him put these little ticket, the 185 present, into the rocket and wrap it up. He's got no idea what's going on downstairs at all. He's just blissfully aware. He carries on wrapping up his presents, happy as anything. So we flash back to Tracy Island, and Virgil is up. Tintin is still up. The reason Virgil's up is because he is the pilot who's going to go and pick up the nice little child that's going to win the ticket to go and spend Christmas Day with them. And him and Tintin suddenly, do you know what? It's really hard not saying KO. I'm so drummed into it now that I keep wanting to say KO instead of Tintin. Hear a noise, so Virgil sort of like gets his angry face on, and 10 points to anyone who notices Virgil's completely weird, angry expressions in this. I was cracking up. I was laughing so much watching that again. It was brilliant. His face just, like Thunderbirds, I've always said they've got two expressions. They've got their happy face and they've got their angry face, and Virgil has some classic angry faces in this episode. So they sort of going off investigating, and then they think it's on the roof, so of course we're all sitting there going, Santa! But it turns out it's Brains who's been on the roof, and we don't quite know why yet, but let's just put it this way, something's been said and there's a surprise at the end of the episode. So after this, Virgil takes off and Tintin takes Brains off to go and make him a coffee or something like that. I don't know why you want coffee when everyone else is in bed. It's like night, like midnight or late at night. Virgil goes off to go and collect the nice little child. At this point, the robbers have almost finished robbing the bank vault, and they're just getting out when Scobie knocks a pencil. It doesn't fall, but then just as they've got back safe and sound, off goes the rope, falls on the pencil. Robbery! Robbery! So off runs everyone to the bank vault. Scobie and his mate. I don't think the other guy's got a name. Does the other guy have a name? I know Scobie, who's the blonde guy, but I don't know what the grey-haired guy's name is. All episode I was trying to find this guy's name, but I genuinely don't know it. They have to get away before anyone catches them, so they nick the Santa suits off their poor little hostages, and they run up into the loading bay for the rocket that's going over Coralville, and the only place they can hide themselves with the gold bars is in the rocket. So guess who's gonna have a really bumpy ride and get caught red-handed when the nice little vault lands on the floor, and Mr. Harmon has to like open it with his gun. They're passed out inside, so they're caught red-handed. They go to jail. The kids get a lovely load of presents. Thunderbird 2 circles until the child who wins, who's Nikki, is ready. And also, because the hospital have caught the robbers, the bank has offered a 10% reward of anything stolen to them, so now they get loads of money, they can build a wing. Everybody's happy. Off goes Nikki to spend Christmas on Tracy Island. And just as a little Christmas magic at the end of the episode, it turns out that what got said at the start, I think Gordon says, oh, it'd be lovely if we could have snow like we used to back in the olden days. So Brains finds a way of making it snow. So this is why it snowed on Tracy Island. So I guess that when you see Santa, Jeff Tracy and Nikki, it's actually Boxing Day. End of the episode, snow's falling all around us, children are playing, having fun, it's the season. Let's quote a little bit of Shakin' Stevens there. And all's well that ends well. I think that's always been my series ender for the original Thunderbirds. I love this one. It's one of the things that I always watch around the festive season. There's like a small contingency of things that I watch. One of them is the movie. There's two names for it. Hostile Hostages / The Ref. It's got Dennis Leary and Kevin Spacey in it. It's very early 90s and it's so damn funny, but it is not a child's movie. It is absolutely, it's full of bad language and lots of mean lines aimed at husband versus wife, but it's really funny. It's one that I always break out, but if I need a laugh, I watch it throughout the year. It's in series 3 of the second series of Ninja Turtles, so like the early 2000s one, which is where Michelangelo takes on these toys, finds Clunk the Cat. I love that one. Nightmare Before Christmas is another one, and there's a few other things like festive. This is one that I watch as well. Festive episodes of things that I revisit that I love. This has always been one of my classics. Nikki, you could be just like a little bit more excited, love. Come on, you're like, Wow, that was a great thrill. Seeing Thunderbirds 3 launch. Put your heart in it, kid. Come on. Not everyone gets to see Thunderbird 3 launching. I'd be like jumping out me bloody check. What? Excitement. It's Christmas, kid. Come on. I had to notice one little thing. The Children's Hospital sign is grammatically incorrect. And I did a lot of research into this. If you look at Coralville Children's Hospital, it's children's and not children apostrophe S. A children's hospital belongs to children, so it's an apostrophe because it's a belonging. Children's means multiple children's. Yeah, I had to notice that. So I'm sorry for being anal for spelling, but I did notice it and I did look into it. And it's wrong. Sorry! Not mean to break the Christmas cheer, but I'm a spelling freak. I'm sorry. It comes from novel writing. I apologise greatly for it. I feel so much like I'm cheating on this series by saying it, but I think that the New Age Thunderbird 5 space station is much cooler than the original. I'm sorry! They've thought it through better. There's zero gravity. Johnny's cooler and everybody loves John in the new series. I'm sorry. I just think that the New Age space station is better. I'm sorry. Please punish me for that one! Ah! Now, this is how you can tell that Tracy Island is predominantly full of men, with Tintin normally being completely outnumbered. Obviously, we have Grandma Tracy in this episode and Penelope at the end. They left it until the 21st of December to shop for anything. You can just tell that island is run by men. This is the time of year where all men look at their watches and go, better go shopping. And ironically, you can just tell blokes run that place. And yes, blokes, I mean you. You all leave it till the last minute. My brother is not even exempt from this. He's only just finished buying presents. He can't even wrap the presents. I loved Grandma Tracy's space age oven. Carano goes to her, don't you want to use the nuclear one? Oh no, this way's better. But what is she cooking those turkeys in? It's like a rotisserie in a big tube that makes them last for like 2 days because she's clearly cooking them on like the 23rd of December. Man, this episode just makes me miss Carano. Let alone Jeff Tracy, I miss Carano too. We're all so caught up in missing Jeff Tracy and sort of being focused on seeing Jeff Tracy in the new series that we've neglected Carano. I miss Carano. You know what? I would love to have the guy's job of wrapping all those Christmas gifts on Christmas Eve. But I literally will wrap everybody else's in the house as well, apart from my own. But I was watching him wrap it and I was like, I wish I could do that. But you can tell a bloke's wrapping it because he doesn't exactly do the best job. The corners are all messy and not straight. And now, Gordon, Scott, Alan, not so much Virgil. You can all keep your day jobs of rescuing people because your carol singing is terrible. Guys, seriously, lovely to get in the Christmas cheer, but guys, keep your day jobs, okay? Virgil, lovely piano playing. I'm never going to knock you, my friend. I also had to notice as well, and this comes from actually having worked with children and having to go through all the proper checks. They'd never, in this day and age, let one child go gallivanting off to a random location with random people who've never been vetted, ever. Like, you just wouldn't allow that in today's day and age. It would be, right, we've got to go and check out the layout. You've all got to be CRB checked. You've all got to have your criminal history checked. Have you had any interference with children in your lives? Like, you could never do that into this day and age. It's a lovely thought, but like you could never get away with it. That is give or take 1 million with my points done. This is how we always do these episodes. I sum up the episode and then I go through some points that I made. This is such a festive episode to me, and again, as I said, it's always one that I break out. One of my favourites of the series because everybody's in it. Shame John doesn't come down from the space station for Christmas, but I guess he can't in case they've got a call. I love the effort they go to in it. It's such a typical 60s Christmas pattern setting. Lovely episode to end the series on as well. I'm sorry if this isn't the end of series episode for you, but it is for me. It ends on a high. No hood in sight, which is kind of a bummer. Maybe not so much because they didn't get in so much trouble. You made a child happy. Everybody goes home happy. Lovely end of the series, and a happy Christmas to one and all, and to all a good night. Thank you everyone for being here and watching this special edition on Christmas Eve, wasting your time with me on Christmas Eve. I'm sure you've all got homes and parties and presents to go to, so turn me off and go and enjoy those. Do check back next week for Thunderbirds I'll Go From Today. That will be out. If not, like, share, comment. What do you like most about this video, this episode? Is it just that it's a Christmassy one? Because that's one of the factors of it for me. Do whatever you will. Don't get mean on the channel. If I don't see you before, have a lovely Christmas, have a great New Year's. I don't like New Year's, I'm like a New Year Grinch and Scrooge. And I will see everyone again New Year next week, or for anything else that you're watching, makeup video coming tomorrow. Have a lovely Christmas. Eat, drink, be merry. Bye everyone. We have a cute little kid called Nikki sat there with Jeff Tracy, who's dressed up as Thun. Oh my god! So everybody's happy. Off goes Nikki to spend Christmas on Thunderbird Island. They thought it through better. The New Age Space Station. Okay.